Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lois and my channel is Fat, 50 and Anorexic. I am in the midst of starting this channel because I need some companionship with women my age, men too, that have an eating disorder. I'm just done with my IOP, which is intense outpatient program for eating disorders. 3 months, 3 times a week for 3 hours each time, and you eat while you're there together, process your feelings. Eating disorders are known to be a way of numbing yourself or masking yourself from your feelings, and you have to feel the feels to get through them. So that's all part of the group, and you have different things that you focus on each week for communication skills, inter-communication skills, family and work relationships. All of it's covered, and stress and how to manage your anxiety, because anxiety is usually, and depression is usually part of having an eating disorder. Anyway, I'm outside, and so welcome if it's your first time. If you're back, thank you for the support. I'm hoping you'll put something in the comments, how long you've had an eating disorder or the one that you love and you're watching. I think it's important to talk about for older women because young anorexics grow old, okay? And if you think that you'll never go back to that behavior, talk to someone that's had an eating disorder for 40 years and they'll tell you, yes, you do come back. It's like an alcoholic with alcohol. You have to really work at maintaining a healthy attitude towards food, a healthy body image of yourself, self-care, all of that, and it can slowly slip away and you don't realize it, and suddenly you're reaching for a certain cracker that is the only thing you'll eat, once a day if you have anorexia, and you realize, oh my God, I'm reaching for this thing that the only time I really reach for this thing is when I'm not eating and I need to shut my stomach up. So I need to be on high alert at that point. What else am I doing? Where's my self-talk? Is my self-talk really shitty? And you just take it from there, and you self-correct and you self-correct. So I'm outside with my goats and my husband, a walk. He's on the phone with his dad. That's Mark. This is Ava. The black one is Jaja. Jaja is a La Mancha. Oh no, Ava. The brown one is La Mancha, and the black one is oh, I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to claim that as part of menopause. So yeah, and on top of an eating disorder, I've just completed, thank God, I'm in postmenopause. My blood work shows I'm in postmenopause. So it was a tough go, I'll tell you. Now, we've also got our little Charlie. He's a King Charles, and when I bought him from someone, she had rescued him from a breeder that wanted to get rid of him because there's something that's not quite perfect about his bite, which I can't see, and even the vet said they couldn't see it, but I got to buy him for a ridiculous price. She was just a boarder, and she knew this Amish family that had King Charles Cavaliers. So look, the sun, I don't know about where you are, but around here the sun has not been around much. Look at the woods taking off. This is going to fill up with flowers all over the wood floor. I've got wild roses out here that are going to start, showing buds and showing leaves and getting some fresh green on their old clipped parts and things that I did to them last year. So these are my therapy goats, I call them. We don't want babies. We don't want milk. I don't have time. I'm being called in. Hopefully his dad's okay. He was on the phone with his dad. He's 97. It was my last day of IOP, so I will be back. Yep, here he comes. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. We are inside. The goats are all put away. Mark's gone back outside to work in the garage. He's got, I think one of our mowers is down he's working on. I don't know about where you guys are, but our grass is growing to beat the band. It's Lois. Thank you for joining me on my channel. I wanted to finish up my update real quick on, this is our front yard, the pond. And with all the rain we've got, we don't want the pond to get up any higher. It's already come up over what we had out there, like a platform that you could walk out on, get on the boat and whatever. And then we've got our pontoon boat out here. Anyway, the water's really come up. It was almost 2 feet down from us having almost drought conditions the last 2 summers. So here I am. Hello. I wanted to finish up my report on my last day in IOP for my ED. My ED IOP is Eating Disorder Intense Outpatient Program. So you can have an intense outpatient program for different things like drug rehab or whatever. For me, it was eating disorders. And today was my last day out of 3 months, going 3 times a week for 3 hours at a time. And in that 3 hours, you had to bring something for lunch or you'd be kicked out of the program. So if I stop abruptly, somebody's come in or we've got company unexpectedly, and I'll just pick back up later. But I'm going to try and get this finished. So anyway, eating disorder, IOP, intense outpatient program. 3 months, 3 days a week, 3 hours each. You eat with each other during your lunchtime and your facilitators or your counselors, and you can express if you're having a hard time eating. Sometimes if you're anorexic and you haven't eaten anything in 5 days, you can have almost a choke reaction to starting to eat. Sometimes if you're a bad binger, there's things that the counselors look for because of your wanting to release what's in your stomach after you've eaten. And there's different things they look for in different eating disorders. So they talk you through it. They help you, make you aware of it. You kind of think your way through the food. Intentional eating is one of the things that I've talked about here on the channel already. Intentional eating, motivational eating, just making sure that you get in touch with your emotions, looking at the textures of the food, the smell, try and enjoy it instead of be afraid of it if it's something you've never had. And if that's the challenge, is to get past the aesthetics of the food and give it a chance, because your body needs nourishment. So anyway, we got finished up today. I got some beautiful things said to me in a lovely journal they gave me to keep my notes on the rest of my journey. I've been referred to residential treatment, so I guess I've made a scholarship. I won a scholarship I didn't know I was going for, but they picked me for the scholarship, and I get to go anywhere in the country. So I'm so super, super excited. I don't know where I'm going to go. If you know of a great place to go, please let me know, because I need to make a decision by next week, and I've got a lot of research to try and figure this out. So it's a trip of a lifetime. It's the support and real hard try of a lifetime for me to be able to go away in treatment for 30 days or more on a scholarship. So, and that's all paid. So I really want to pick something good. So please, if you have any ideas, my fear is ending up in a group with a bunch of just young girls who see me as old and I see them as young, and we can't connect. I'd rather find a place that has middle-aged women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, which is me. I just think we're in a totally different place than a teenager or a young woman in her early 20s. So that being said, we had a great group today. We were walking the goats when I got home, and I'm just in a really great mood. So I'm going to carry the mood into the evening. I'm going to try and have a really nice evening with my husband, and start on a new video idea for tomorrow, because I have a lot of trauma in my childhood as well as later in my teen and adult years. It just seemed to follow me through the decades. And that's why I had an eating disorder that was active through the decades. I've been through a lot, and I know a lot of you have been through a lot, and you understand what I'm saying. There is trauma associated with people that have specifically anorexia, but I don't have any kind of concrete evidence to support that, even though I've read it a lot. I can't say that it's a fact. It's just something that I've read, I've read. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's what I've read. And I can't cite where I read it. So, luckily this is my platform and I can say what I want. And so I'll try and get that figured out. I'm trying to figure out how to do the videos, so I don't know how to do everything yet. I just figured out a thumbnail. And what I can do that's free versus spending a lot of money when I'm just getting started at doing this. I don't want to start with everything too hard. So that's why I'd like you to be patient with me as I'm trying to pull these things together on my own with nobody showing me what to do. I'm just watching YouTube videos and trying to figure it out. Or things on, out on YouTube, or okay, Google, tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, here we are. Here I am. Here you are with me. Hello. Hello. Really, thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to start at the beginning with me, and I'm going to talk about the things that happened to me before I was 20 years old. We'll just deal with my child because it's interesting, and I'll tell you why later. I just have to think about how I want to present it yet. I'm not quite sure. So group IOP is over. And IOP had exit paperwork as far as the formality, the logistics of it. It had paperwork that I had to do on where I was at with my eating disorder and everything. I can't say that I'm healed. I'm not. Still struggling with it every day. And I have for many years, so I can't expect it to be gone in just 3 months. That would be crazy. That's why I'm looking forward to doing residential, because of all the physical problems I'm having now that I can't, like my kidneys, my liver, my stomach is just, and my esophagus, everything from top to bottom. I have clinical tests supporting I don't work right. I'm way too slow. So slow I had a pacemaker put in a year and a half ago. And since that happened, I've dedicated myself to trying to follow this eating disorder group, in and out of group, and weekly therapy with a counselor. I see a physician once every 3 months, and sometimes right now I'm at every 6 weeks because they had to hospitalize me for malnourishment in January. And my heart was just going through the roof because I hadn't eaten anything for 3 or 4 days at that particular point. So your weight doesn't define whether or not you have anorexia. There's a lot of things to it. It doesn't define whether you have bulimia or anything else. There are several eating disorders out there, and I'm going to try and learn more about it myself. And when I do, I can present it to you. I really don't want to just be a teacher. I want to be a community, because I'm learning with this. I'm doing things I would have refused to do when I was younger, because I didn't think that they knew what they were talking about since they didn't live it. Now I get it, and sometimes some counselors have even had an eating disorder and managed to have it in remission. So that being said, thank you for being on my channel. I'm going to get into more deep things like why anorexia and bulimia and other eating disorders develop, what types of trauma, because there are certain types versus others that are associated with different types. And I will cite those. I'll have in my books. I'll have my resources ready. And we'll just take bites of it at a time. And I think, going to be doing more sit down and eats. Let's join me for a conversation and something to eat, because I don't have somebody eating with me. Mark and I are on different schedules. And I usually have something once a day right now. So when I do that, I'd like to do that with company. And one of the things I learned in group is you can create company with a friend online. Well, I don't have any. So this is my thing. This is what I'm doing. It's going to be just for me. And hopefully it will benefit someone else that needs someone to sit and just jibber jabber about the weather, being a woman, loving your kids, being a parent. I don't want to make this just only about women things, because I know you can be a man that's had anorexia for many years as well. And that's, again, the point of my channel, is to reach out and find people that are like me, that are in their 50s and over, that have had an eating disorder for many years, or have just discovered that they have had one for many years because they have disordered eating and they're fine-tuning it in some way or another. And what type we have doesn't matter. It's that we all have a problem with food. We're disoriented with food, or disorganized with food. We just don't have the right relationship with it anymore. So I hope to be an inspiration. I hope to gain inspiration from others. Thank you for stopping in. And sounds like my fellas, my husband and the dogs, are coming in. I'll see you next time.